Hey y'all, it's Fox from Losant. And this month we have a very special episode. We are in New York City for Techstars IoT Demo Day. Along with some awesome news, we have an interview from Greg Friesmuth, the CEO of Dronesmith. Dronesmith is currently in the Techstars IoT program, and this is This Month in Things. Intel has released yet another piece of hardware that's a perfect fit for IoT devices. It's called the Compute Card. It's basically a credit card size, full-fledged computer. Its goal is to be used in large devices like refrigerators, kiosks, and such. You should see this available sometime in mid-2017. The company Button makes smart buttons. They are very similar to the Amazon Dash buttons. However, Button has recently decreased their prices to tap into the US market. With Button, businesses can offer their customers a branded button that serves as a quick way to interact with their business. So, it can do things like place an order, very similar to the Dash, or make a support request. In the end, it's all about improving the customer experience. The button costs about $2 a month and now runs on the Sigfox network. Pavlok has created a pretty cool wearable for you to keep up with your New Year's resolutions. It's a device that sits on your wrist and will track the habit you set and literally shock you if you break it. Yes, shock you. To track the habits, it just has a ton of integrations into service like if this then that and things like that. People have used this device to wake them up in the morning, to quit smoking, and do all sorts of things. So check this device out if you really have a problem keeping track of those resolutions. Cheery is a cute little robot for your home. It was meant to mimic famous robots like R2-D2 and WALL-E. It functions very similar to a smart home like Alexa or Google Home, but it will actually walk around and have conversations with you. The main purpose of this robot is to make the average person get used to having a robot in their home. So, if you like the idea of robots in the house, the Cheery might be the perfect way to start. As time goes on, we'll see IoT solve a lot more specific problems. At CES, a new type of breast pump was released that really touches on the problem that exists with current breast pumps. For example, instead of being loud and obvious, it's more discreet and hands-free, making it a great experience for women. I'm excited to see IoT solve more problems like this. Also at CES, it was Alexa everywhere. Alexa was a big trend this year, which I'm sure was Amazon's goal. We even saw a new Echo competitor that used Alexa. But this device was created by Lenovo. So, Alexa devices are now competing with Alexa devices. I'll make sure I include a list of all the Alexa devices that were released during CES so you can get the full list. Speaking of Alexa, Alexa was involved in a murder investigation recently. Unfortunately, a smart home enthusiast was found dead in his apartment, but he had an Amazon Alexa. Alexa actually saves the last 60 seconds of audio before the Alexa command was spoken. The police are hoping that this last 60 seconds would include something valuable for their case, but Amazon said no. They can't have access to the data. So, this story is important to keep up with because it has the same path and implications of the iPhone case we saw in San Bernardino last year. As I mentioned earlier, we got Greg Friesmuth here from Dronesmith. So Greg, can you share a little bit about you and what you guys do at Dronesmith?
Sure. I've been really passionate about robotics for a long time in my life. So a few years ago, started a drone company that really our goal was to take on the hurdles that exist in the drone industry, where we saw development to be a really big one of those hurdles. It wasn't easy. You had to have a lot of really specialized skill sets. So Dronesmith was really created to solve that problem. We've iterated through the years on knowing what products to build to kind of cater to that. And we've built this really neat kind of expansive platform that connects your drones through a web API and enables anyone to be a developer of drones really with a very limited skill set. Maybe just basic programming skills. They can pick up our API and actually control a whole fleet of drones anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm. So you just basically got into this because you were passionate about drones, or can you tell me more about the idea that you currently have? How did you get to that?
Yeah, so I was a researcher at university doing drones for nuclear radiation detection in nuclear power plants. And it was a collaboration with Sandia National Labs and like the South Korean nuclear agency. And basically I was reinventing the wheel for everything that I had to do regarding this project. The first part was really, I had to recreate my own hardware. So I was like, why isn't there just a good hardware I can take that off the shelf, program to my desires, and have at it? Well, that was sort of the first product iteration, so I built that. And then we were like, well, now that we have a hardware product, why isn't there an easy computer interface and software interface to this? So we built that. So we built a flight controller that is basically a smart brain for these drones, and then a software connectivity infrastructure layer that goes on top of it that handles all the low-level components of the drone so that you can focus on the high-level stuff.
So we got nuclear drones. So from now looking to the future, where do you see drones making the most impact currently?
I definitely think that the big ones are infrastructure, monitoring and inspection, agriculture, and security. I think those are definitely going to be the largest three. But there is a lot of uses that even I can't think of, but I have a few in my head, like nuclear drones being one of those examples. There's a lot of those out there that I think are going to be really exciting and valuable additions to using or ways to utilize this technology. And nobody's really catering to those because they're too small or they're too niche or they're not even thought of yet. It's kind of like the smartphone, but nobody thought of the app marketplace really being a thing about smartphones until they kind of got to the evolution that they were so easy to develop on. We see the same thing with drones. So I'm really excited to see what people come up with. I don't know everything about farming. I don't know everything about nuclear power plants even. I don't know a lot of things about a lot of industries, but I know if we make the drone technology available to those kind of people, they'll figure it out.
So we want to make sure that people get started if they have drone ideas. So you should let everyone know that if they want to get in contact with you or Dronesmith, how should they go about it and get started?
Sure, yep. We have a community that we have where we all talk. It's a Slack channel. It's community.dronesmith.io. So go there and sign up and join us. We're always there. I'm there. You can talk to all of us through that Slack channel. Ask any question you want about drones. We're happy to answer. We also have our product Dronesmith Hanger being released later this week and made accessible to kind of API beta users. So you can get an API key right now. The Hanger is sort of a front end for that API key. You can sign up for that for free. So access your thing, and it allows you to create simulated drones. So you can actually develop your own drone apps for free, all on a simulator that is one for one with the real hardware.
That's so cool.
So yeah, that's one of my favorite features. That's like, I don't have to waste a ton of money on hardware resources anymore. I can just build it and then prove it and then build it out as a business.
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody has $3,000 to drop on the drone.
Yeah, exactly. It's prohibitively expensive when you're just trying and they fly off and you never see them again. That's what just happened to a lot of people, and so we eliminated that kind of barrier and made it a lot more simple for people to get into this. And we're rolling out new things every week. So
awesome. Well, thank you, Greg, for joining us today.
Yeah,
really,
thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it. Good luck on your presentation tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you guys for joining us. Remember again, we got Greg Friesmuth, CEO of Dronesmith. He told you how to get started, so if you're interested, make sure you please reach out. Thank you all for joining us for this special episode of This Month in Things. Next month, we'll be back in Cincinnati, but until next time, stay connected.